Hajime Nagumo is your generic, weak-ass, useless protagonist who finds himself trapped in a dangerous place called the Orcus Labyrinth, packed with scary monsters. Hajime has a close encounter with Pookie Bear that slices off his arm. Fortunately, he discovers a divinity stone that saves his life by making a pool of special healing fluid called ambrosia. Flashback to his past, we learn that Hajime isn't a typical warrior. His only skill is transmutation, which allows him to manipulate matter. When his class entered the dungeon, they were confronted by a behemoth, and he was deliberately pushed into the abysses by one of his classmates after trying to save Kaori. While Hajime's stuck in this abyss, he craves some pussy, forcing him to go caveman mode and hunt monsters to survive. Eating one of these monsters causes a change in his DNA, and only the constant healing from ambrosia saves him. Hajime's body transforms, getting stronger due to the constant tearing of his muscles from the symbiosis of his and the monster's DNA and the healing of the ambrosia. After his depressed boy band transformation, Hajime acquires new skills from eating the monsters. Hajime uses his new Minecraft skills to craft materials from the rocks around him. Hajime uses transmutation to craft a powerful gun named Donner. He uses this gun to take down a wild rabbit, which he then acquires the skills of. Eventually, Hajime uses his new skills and weapon to go after the bear that took his arm. The bear gives Hajime a hard time, sending a flurry of slashes in his direction and knocking out his gun. Hajime throws a flash grenade, stunning the bear, and gives him a chance to shoot off the bear's arm. He eats the bear's arm, pissing off the bear and causing it to run towards him. The bear falls into a trap and gets electrocuted. Finally, Hajime shoots the finishing blow, defeating the bear. Back on the surface, the king refuses to admit that a hero like Hajime is gone, and Shizuku, Kaori's friend, uncovers the truth about their mission from the Pope. The Pope summoned their high school class and their teacher to this world to act as heroes in humanity's war against demons and monsters. Shizuki notices her classmate, Hayama, acting strangely, but does not hear him, reassuring himself that no one saw him attacking Hajime. Kaori refuses to believe Hajime is dead and wants to return to the labyrinth to save him, but Shizuku insists that she needs to rest first. Hajime eventually reaches a giant stone door and defeats the Guardians, retrieving keys from their corpses. As Hajime reaches the lowest point of the labyrinth, he finds a young girl trapped in a crystal. Hajime initially leaves her behind, but the girl explains that she comes from a long line of vampires and was betrayed and left to be sealed. He decides to free her, and deciding to abandon her old name, she asks Hajime for a new one, so he names her Yue for the moon, as her golden hair reminds him of moonlight. Suddenly, Hajime gets his back blown out as they face a big scorpion monster, and Hajime struggles to shoot down the scorpion. Yue sucks on Hajime's bodily fluids to regain her magic power.
Sensational.
Hajime and Yue work together to defeat the scorpion. After defeating the scorpion, Hajime learns that all the vampires were wiped out centuries ago, making Yue the last one. Yue tells Hajime that the labyrinths were built by some powerful magic users called Mavericks to escape the wrath of a god. Hajime manages to create a rifle called Big Schlong. Schlagen. As they travel deeper into the cave, he tells Yue how he ended up stuck here, and that he doesn't care about his classmates or revenge anymore. All he wants is the strength to get back to Japan. Knowing that Yue has nowhere to go, he asks her to come along with him. On the surface, Kuki and his classmates prepare themselves to train at the labyrinth again. As Hajime and Yue get closer to the bottom floor, they encounter monsters controlled by a plant-like creature. Yue continues to suck on his meat as they eventually escape into a cave. Yue becomes infected by the plant monster, but Hajime is immune thanks to the monster meat he ate earlier, allowing him to kill the monster. As they rest in the cave, Yue removes her plot armor in an attempt to suck on Hajime's juices. Hajime and Yue encounter a passageway that leads them deeper into the labyrinth. As they venture down the labyrinth, Hajime keeps track of where they have traveled. Yue takes a break from all the plot development they have been doing.
2 hours later.
Eventually, they continue exploring the maze-like structure. Hajime, being the blind ass he is, travels down the 100th set of stairs and finally sees the door leading to the final boss. They reach the final boss, a massive Hydra-like creature. The Hydra has 6 heads, each with unique powers. Yue is distracted by the fear-inducing hypnosis of a second head and almost gets eaten. But Hajime shoots the Hydra to distract it. He then grabs Yue and throws a grenade to distract the rest of the Hydra heads, giving him time to retreat. Hajime then bitch slaps Yue to snap her out of it. He then gives her an antidote and rizzes her up to ensure she's safe. Hajime uses his Schlagen to destroy 3 heads, and Yue destroys the remaining 3 with lightning. Before they can relax, a surprise 7th head emerges. Hajime is injured protecting Yue. The Schlagen is destroyed. Seeing Hajime unconscious, Yue drags him to safety and tries to attack with his pistol, but is injured. Even unconscious, Hajime hears Yue crying and activates main character plot armor to increase his speed such that he can dodge all attacks. He explodes grenades all around the room, dropping the roof on the head and allowing Yue to kill it for good with her magic. As the final door opens, Hajime passes out from exhaustion. Aiko Hatayama, their teacher, argues with the Pope about returning to the labyrinth, but they strike a deal to send students volunteering while Aiko uses her magic for the kingdom's agriculture. The classmates return back to the labyrinth and continue exploring the area. Hajime wakes up with Yue, but he has lost his right eye. He discovers they're in the Maverick's home. They come across the remains of the Maverick who created the labyrinth, Oscar Orcus. Oscar deems Hajime as worthy to know the truth about the Maverick and God War. He transfers his powers and memories to Hajime before vanishing. Hajime then trembles on the ground from the post-nut clarity he is receiving. Hajime's classmates go for round 2 against the behemoth they believe killed Hajime. The classmates work together to chip down the behemoth, until finally, ugly-ass Glasses Girl and Beta Bit Golden Boy deliver the final blow to take down the monster. Hajime gains a new skill from Oscar Orcus and now possesses the ancient creation magic, allowing him to unleash his inner Minecraft skills. They bury Oscar, and Hajime takes his portal-controlling ring. Learning about the truth, he decides to conquer all the labyrinths for their ancient magics. Over 2 months, Hajime prepares himself for the upcoming labyrinths and utilizes Oscar's treasures to learn and craft advanced gear, including a new arm and a magical eye to replace the one he lost. Yue repeatedly attempts to build some plot development with him, tempting Hajime to risk it all.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
As they acquire their equipment, he gives her a magical ring, but he warns her that their plans could lead them into conflict with the church and their god, Ahit. She chooses to stay with him regardless, and they teleport back to the surface. In the kingdom, Shei Halia, a rabbit girl, is impatiently waiting for Hajime and Yue's return. Soon after they meet Shei, a 2-headed T-Rex confronts them. Shei, scared of the T-Rex, holds on to Hajime as he shoots down the T-Rex's head. Hajime and Yue try to ignore her huge melons. However, they end up listening to her as she points out her assets are far greater than Yue's. She tells them her tribe is in trouble due to monsters, and her magical power lets her foresee Hajime's arrival. Hajime agrees in exchange for her guidance to the great tree mentioned in Oscar's library. Hajime visits the rabbit men, where he encounters monsters attacking them. He throws Shei as bait to take down the monsters. They make their way to the tribe's forest, and Hajime helps the rabbit men become tougher monster slayers. Yue and Shei have a duel to determine whether Shei is worthy to join them on their journey. Shei eventually lands a scratch on her face. Shei takes them to the tree, and Hajime realizes that it's the entrance to another labyrinth. He notices a stone slab nearby with slots for rings like Oscar's. Hajime realizes this labyrinth will only open after he has defeated the other labyrinths first. The rabbit men choose to continue training and guard the tree while Hajime and Yue head out. Shei, wanting to join Hajime's harem, insists on traveling with them, and Yue reluctantly agrees. They reach Ryzen Gorge, which leads them to an entrance to another labyrinth. Here they come across Milady Ryzen, your typical Twitch chatter that only watches the Just Chatting category for wholesome content. Their journey through her labyrinth is filled with pranks, mainly targeting Shei. Shei gets sprayed with a sticky white substance on her face. As they pass through a large crimson door, they encounter an army of robotic metal soldiers. Hajime and the others attempt to defeat as many as possible until Shei has the chance to smash down the door, blocking them. They reach the labyrinth's core. where they must face the creator herself. Milady operates a massive robot to test their strength. Hajime, Yue, and Shay work together, but they struggle to defeat the giant robot. Finally, Yue sets up an ice trap where Hajime calls Shay to shove his big hard rod into the robot, defeating Milady. She leaves them with a parting prophecy about Hajime becoming a god-killer one day. Inside the treasure room, they find Twitch chats. Sorry, I mean Milady's true form. A tiny cartoon yapping golem whom Shay throws hands at for all the pranks. Completing the labyrinth earns them gifts. Milady bestows her ring to Hajime, and Yue receives her ancient gravity magic. They're expelled from the labyrinth and Shay drowns, unable to swim. Hajime brings her back with CPR, but after she wakes up, she seizes the chance to suck on his meat. Hajime gets pissed and throws her to drown her again. Afterwards, Hajime and his two hoes find an inn where Shay loudly insists Hajime spend the night to take her plot development for the first time. Now publicly humiliated, Hajime punishes Shay yet again. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to hear me yap more about Edgy Pirate Boy, remember to give this video a like and comment, part 2. Until next time, my cultured anime watchers.